Good morning, family. How are
Peace
you?
and blessings.
Good
Hi.
morning. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Waking up, getting it together.
You sound so awake, Amal. You waking up? Still? My
I
goodness.
did. I woke up and did a little meditation this morning. So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I hear that vibrancy in your voice. Beautiful.
Peace and blessings, Shawnee.
Peace and blessings. Abimbola, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
You
are.
are.
Good
All
morning, everyone.
Good morning.
right.
Hey, morning.
So we are in for a treat this morning. We have Dr. Jewa Lea on the line. She's going to be leading session 224, which is What You Don't Know About Your Heart May Be Killing Your Life, Part 1. So we're doing a short session this morning, and then tomorrow we will have the extended session. So excited to be holding space with her and hearing about our heart health. So Jiwa, if you could start greeting your guests.
Good morning, Mbibola. How are you?
Good morning, Jewa.
Let's see who else we have here. Amal. Hey,
Yeah.
Amal. Amal's the whole reason I'm here. Hello, Zakia. Hello, Alana.
How my shit was working.
Hello. Hey, Stacy. How are you?
Greetings, beloved. Greetings, family.
Greetings. So Adam, if you can mute.
Mika and Louise and Adam, Marie. Hello. Good morning.
Good
So,
Morning.
morning.
so Jiwa, any special instructions for the community?
Um, Empty your cup. I'm gonna
Lovely.
that tomorrow there are some things that they will need, but today I just want to just like for them to be an empty cup.
Beautiful.
Kaisha, hello, how are you?
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving.
Hello, Veronica. Hello, Shauna. Hello, Teresa.
Connecting, transforming, together, together.
All righty, Doc, it's on you. Are you ready? We can't hear you, sis.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me? Everyone
Yes.
hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Jewa Lea, and I currently am in Michigan. I have a online practice where I do mastery coaching. And I wrote a book called Core Perfectum, What You Don't Know About Your Heart May Be Killing Your Life. So we have a brief 30 minutes today, and then we have 90 minutes tomorrow. Well, I'll be talking about all things heart. I want to thank Amal Muhammad for inviting me to this wonderful group. You have something very special here. And so I'm honored to be in this space this morning. So let's start with the question, what do you know about your heart? So this is a time where I'd like some feedback to this question. What do you know about your heart? You know, and it could be anything that you know. I just want to hear everything that you know about your heart.
Okay, you want to hear it or you want them to place it in the chat?
Um, whichever way is most effective.
Okay. So just to get the conversation going, we'll ask, oh, Jacqueline just said it's a muscle. So we'll see what folks say in the chat and then also ask some folks to come off mute to
Okay,
share. So,
okay. So it's a muscle, yes, it is a muscle.
mhm.
Um, that's one thing, but there's several things. Anything else anybody can think of?
Who- So who else? Teresa, can you unmute yourself?
I said it's capable of being broken, like having a broken heart.
Broken heart, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Capable of having a broken heart, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a lifeline.
thank
Yes. So purple is saying that oxygen comes to and from it. Yes. So after the blood goes to the lungs, the oxygenated blood goes to the heart and then to the rest of the body. It does have 4 chambers. It circulates blood. Yes. Anything else? I think I missed one. There were 2 that came back to back there.
Yeah, it says it. Kaisha said it controls the blood flow throughout the body.
Right. And then purple said that we can't live without it. That is true. So when your brain is dysfunctional, your brain dead, but when your heart dead, you're dead, dead. So yes, you definitely need your heart. It's the one thing that we can't do without, even in maximal dysfunction. Okay, so anything else about the heart that you may know?
It gets activated or impacted by emotional states.
Yes, definitely. It is the seat of emotion. So our hearts definitely are the rulers of our emotions. And it's used as a symbol of love. Yes, definitely. And that has a very ancient history, ancient standing, how the heart is a symbol for love. And we'll go in further detail about that as we go on into this discussion either today or tomorrow. So it can be replaced. Yeah, it definitely can be replaced. And one of the interesting things about a heart that's replaced is that the person may take on some of the characteristics of the donor of that heart. So the heart is not just a muscle or the seat of emotions in a functional sense, but in a literal sense, it is actually it can influence the behavior of a person. So heart transplants, that's one of the things that can happen. You take on the characteristics or the what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the characteristics of the person that's the donor. So let's go a little bit into what the heart is. So there is definitely a silent pandemic that is occurring in the United States and the Western world. Heart disease is the #1 killer of people, even during this whole COVID-19 thing. It's still #1. In fact, it's a direct cofactor for people dying faster due to COVID-19. It's one of the underlying factors that lead to it. So heart disease is still number one because it's an underlying precondition. Every 34 seconds in the United States, someone's having a heart attack. Now that's a outstanding statistic right there. And then 48% of African American women have symptoms of heart disease. 48%. So that's almost like a coin flip. And then for African American men, the number is 46%. 46%. So heart disease is the number one killer of Black women in the United States and the number one killer of Black men as well. And what's so astounding is that the symptoms of heart disease, that's the measure of that metric, of that statistic, are for people over the age of 20. So from 20 years on, people in our community have symptoms of heart disease. So what's going on that's creating this problem? Now, what's happening that heart disease is so prevalent? I mean, we have gotten so much education about what we can do as far as eating correctly, as far as breathing correctly, not smoking. We've gotten instructions on exercise and the value of exercise and stress reduction. So there are so many things that we already know that can help mitigate heart disease, but still it's number one. Number one to the point where you can combine all the different cancers that people die from. And we're talking about breast, prostate, lung, cervical, liver, combine all of those. And it's still, that sum of those cancers is still second to heart disease being the number one killer. So it's a profound and deep problem. And so when I wrote my book, Core Perfectum, I initially wrote the book because I was interested in learning more about the heart. Then I stumbled on the statistic because, like I said, it's a silent pandemic. Most people don't even know that heart disease is the number one killer. 1 out of 3 women die from heart disease, but 1 out of 5 women know that heart disease is a potential danger to them. So there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of no information about the heart that I think would help people understand what's really going on in the center of our chest. And so that's what we're going to be discussing tomorrow. So I want to ask you another question. So we asked about, what you know about the heart, but what makes the heart so special? I want you to put that in the forefront of your brain as we continue on this conversation. What makes the heart so special? Because it has a lot of different properties that most people don't know about. Most people know about the things that you spoke of, that it has 4 chambers, that it circulates blood, that it is a muscle, that it's the seat of emotions. But there's so much more that is going on with the heart. And my thesis is that if people knew what the heart really does and what the heart really is, I think that they would be a little bit more better caretaker, a better steward of their hearts and their well-being. So what do you think makes the heart so special, just based on the whole idea that there's something else going on? If you were to guess.
I'll start us off. This is Shawnee. I believe it's like a brain. It's like having another brain. I also view the womb in the same way, that my heart tells me when, once again, I said earlier, the emotional states. It indicates when I'm anxious. It alerts me when I feel deep joy, when I'm feeling sad. Like it can tighten up, not because there's dis-ease, but because there's dis-ease in the body. And so when I allow it to communicate with me, then I can make some powerful choices emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. When I ignore it, then I miss the opportunity to do so.
Very nice. Yes, definitely. The heart has its own intrinsic nervous system. It has its own dedicated nervous system, apart from the central nervous system that is governed by the brain. Also, the heart has more connections going from the heart to the brain as opposed to the brain from the heart, meaning that the heart is actually telling the brain what to do. It's actually informing, giving instructions to the brain to carry out, so that, and then the brain communicates that to the rest of the body. So the heart is really running the show. But we hardly ever think about that, or even know about that. When we think about our brains, we think that it's ruling a whole lot of the functions that are going on in our body, all the different processes that happen consciously or unconsciously. But the heart is actually regulating a lot, a good majority of what's going on in our bodies. And the brain is like a co-host, a sidekick. Yes, it's like the motherboard. Another analogy would be, computer analogy would be that the heart is the master and the brain is the slave. Another analogy would be the heart is the sun and the brain is the moon. So whatever the heart is reflecting or shining or communicating is that light or that communication is absorbed by the brain and then reflected off to other places. So a lot of different analogies that can go with that relationship between the heart and the brain. Anyone else have anything that they think that makes the heart special?
So, Jewa, I was thinking, can you say that the heart is the connection to our higher self or to spirit?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. The heart, and I'm going to tie what you said and what Shawnee said together. The whole idea of the heart having a intuitive sense is not an accident. It is basically the seat of our soul. It is the doorway to our higher realms. The heart is the intersection of spirit and matter. So if you were to, I know in this community, you've probably heard that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. That may be something that you've heard before. Well, that is true. We are physical beings having a we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. So what does that mean in relations to the heart? Well, what it means is that spirit has to come in somehow. Spirit has to communicate somehow to the physical part of us. And it does that through our hearts. There is a special geometry that's related to the heart that will go in tomorrow, a sacred geometry that has to do with everything about how the heart is in alignment with spirit, and how our hearts are the instrument through which we manifest our desires. Just think of some of the sayings that you say in relation to the heart. That was heartfelt. Can anyone think about something else, some sayings in relation to the heart? Heartfelt, brokenhearted. What else can you think about the heart? You're muted, Kaisha. I can't hear you if you're saying something.
Because it came to me and I just spoke out. I said, I felt that in my chest, that like that statement, like this, if someone says something and I felt that in my chest. That's what I was.
Yes, the Kinyofu said heart-centered. Alana said heartwarming. So heartened, yes. Allow your heart to be open. Yeah, so some more. There's plenty more. Let's see how many we can come up with. He or she is my heart. Someone near and dear to you is your heart. Yes. Heart is in the office. I couldn't see that last one. Kind of overlapped.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was listening. Listening. Someone said, some great orator said that the heart should be the office of which we do business.
Right.
Something of that nature. I thought that was quite profound.
Right. Yes. And I felt that in my heart. I remember the line from Beloved when C's mother-in-law, protect your heart. Yes. Home is where the heart is, definitely. My heart is in my throat when you can't speak, when you're overwhelmed or, anxious. So yeah, there's so many sayings about the heart. Have a heart-to-heart conversation, definitely, yes. All these sayings we have around the heart. So just think about it. When you point to someone or you point to yourself, you don't point to your brain, you don't point to your stomach, you point to your chest where your heart is. When you give an oath, you put your hand over your heart. When when we were kids, we crossed our hearts and hoped to die when we were, saying an oath or something like that, or, swearing something. So our hearts are really the center of our being. And so when we think about our hearts, we need to think about them from this day on as more than a muscle, as more than a pump, as more than circulating blood, because its primary function has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with being the seat of our souls, our energetic center, and a whole host of other things that we'll go in tomorrow. Even the placement and how the placement of our hearts has significance. And it can be documented through geometry, sacred geometry, which is a way of looking at things that are in nature and being able to experience them in a still moment and see their spiritual nature. So there are a couple of things for tomorrow's session that I would like for you to bring to the session. First one is paper and pen, because there are going to be some things that you haven't heard before. Okay, so Teresa has her hand up.
I wanted to say that I feel that my healing has taken place because of me letting go of a lot of unforgiveness and hatred that I had inside my heart for stuff that happened to me from my childhood, up until, past experience. And I feel like because of doing that, healing is taking place. I've been taking medication. It hasn't been taking place, but letting go of the unforgiveness and, like different things that people did or said, and me, taking a stand for myself has changed, my healing in a different direction. So
Definitely. Thank you. Yes, unburdening your heart is one of the key things that you can do to help reverse the course of heart disease. I mean, it's one of the primary things that you can do. So yes, definitely lighting your heart. Yes, Amal, thank you. So a couple of things that I would like for you to bring tomorrow: pen and paper, because there are going to be some things that you would want to take down. And then a washcloth, simple washcloth. Doesn't have to be super big, it just can be, or a handkerchief. It can be, a square, simple square, but it has to be something that you can hold in both hands, because we'll need that for an exercise that we're going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the energetic principles or energetic properties of the heart, the sacred geometry of the heart, the ancient teachings around the heart, and what you can start doing today to change how your heart operates and your whole body operates, and start reversing the course of heart disease. Because based on this statistic, half of us on this call may have heart disease on statistics alone. So everyone knows someone who has heart disease and may not even know it. So this is information, this is life-changing information. I invite you to invite your friends to this call, your family to this call, take notes so that, that you can share this information. And anyone have any questions? So this green door has significance, and we'll go in that tomorrow. Also, just for fun, wear green tomorrow if you can. It doesn't have to be a whole outfit, just something that's green. And there's a reason for that. Most of the time when we think about our hearts, we think about the color red. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about tomorrow will be chakras. And chakras are energy centers, and they have vibration, different levels of vibration. And red is a root chakra color, which is the lower of the 7 chakras. And so its vibration is lower. It has everything to do with physicality, everything to do with survival, reptilian instinct, operating for survival, basically, is red chakra. Green chakra, and that's the first chakra. Green chakra is a couple of levels up at number 4. Higher vibration, and that's with the level where the heart is. So the heart is level 4 of a 7-level system. It's the halfway point in the chakra system. So it's actually the doorway between the lower chakras that have everything to do with physicality and the upper chakras that have everything to do with spirituality. And so in order to get to the spiritual realms, in order to get in tune with your spiritual self, you have to go through your heart. There's no way around it. And so clearing out your heart, being open, understanding that you have to let go of things that are not serving you, that are burdening your heart, making your heart heavy, that's another one, is key in helping reverse heart disease. And so getting through this green door is what we're going to be focusing on from this point on. How do we get through this green door? And you get through this green door by releasing the physicality of our circumstances and start identifying equally with the spirituality of ourselves. There's a lopsidedness in our existence, and that lopsidedness is leading to our heart disease. We're identifying more as physical as opposed to spiritual, and there's a balance here, and the heart is there to contribute to that balance. That's all I have right now. So I have a special offer to the Woo community. I'm inviting you to join my Whole Heart 101 class. That's an online program that starts in January. That information can be found at store.drjewa, and that's spelled DRJEWA.com. And there's a 10% discount. I think it's 10%. It may be more, so check it out. And the discount code is WUE. There are also free offerings on that site as well. There's a free membership there where you can get free handouts and recordings of previous lectures I have about the heart. So the whole store is called Whole Heart Emporium. And so, yes, so that's what I wanted to say about that. And then you can contact me via phone at 301-388-8088. My Instagram is at Dr. Jewa, and my email is info@drjewa.com. My website is drjewa.com. So those are the ways that you can look at, what I'm all about, and contact me if you have any other questions or, looking to continue this conversation further on a personal level. So join us tomorrow, Thursday, December 24th, 2020, via the Zoom streaming to Facebook for What You Don't Know About Your Heart May Be Killing Your Life, Part 2, facilitated by me, Dr. Jewa Lea. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So the Woo community meets via Zoom on live workshops on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. It's Wednesday today. Here we are. It's almost 7:30. We're almost done. Tomorrow we'll start at 7 o'clock, very bright and early, and finish around 8:30. So be on time, be ready, be open, and wear your green. Also, there are Zoom live workshops that stream via Facebook, and they're streamed live. And so thank you again for being up this morning to share, to learn, and to experience more about the heart. You can register with the Wake Up Movement at bit.ly/Wake Up Movement, on Facebook via bit.ly/Woo Community, and on Instagram at Wake Up Series. And on YouTube, we're at bit.ly/WUCON YouTube. I'm trying to read past all these messages. Okay, and then also you can contact them at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Thank you, Louise. It's also, it is an important conversation, and I look forward to tomorrow as well.
Okay, Shawnee, I think you're gonna be the one to put her into gallery view.
Okay, not a problem. So let me share that we are so grateful, Dr. Jewa, for opening up this powerful conversation about the heart. Over the years, I've heard many public service announcements, all kinds of conversations, or not conversations, declarations about the heart and our concern and how we should be concerned in the Black community. But I love how you integrated the physical with the emotional and the mental and the spiritual, that metaphysical aspect of it, so folks can embrace it and not be so afraid. So I look forward to tomorrow. I'm excited. I will have my green on for sure. And just can't thank you enough for just being the spirit that you are and bringing this information, much needed information, to the community. What stood out to me was when you said half of us on the line will experience heart disease. I'm like, there are 26 of us here, and I think there's like 8 or 9 people on Facebook. And I'm like, wow. And somebody already has it, like they are aware of it, that's on the line. So we need to be in this conversation for sure. So I'm going to put us in gallery view so that we can do what we know to do in this community, to share love and to express our gratitude, which is to pour love and affirm Dr. Jewa for what she has imparted this morning in reference to her knowledge and her spirit and just her calling and her purpose. So please unmute yourselves if you could. And I'm going to invite those who may not be able to do that so we can love on Dr. Jewa.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
so much,
Jewa.
Dr.
Thank
Jewa.
you, Dr. Jewa.
Thank
See you
you so
Great
tomorrow.
much.
conversation, great
Thank you.
information.
For
Looking
conversation.
Thank
to
you
more
so
such
much.
you
And
all.
promoting Black women.
Great day
God.
and a happy holiday.
Looking forward to tomorrow.
More to
I
come.
love the rules, I love the performance. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much
Dr.
gratitude.
Jewa.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day, community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Day, everyone. See you tomorrow. God bless. Peace.
Look forward to tomorrow. Thank you.
Bless you.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.